there! Welcome back and welcome to Pissing in the Livestream number 3. I'm Chaos. Joining me as always, the amazing Alpha Omega Sin.
Fuck yeah, we're back! We're missing a person, but we're still back, so now it's like the Triforce of Hate, so fuck you!
There you go.
Form of
And the main living proof that it never cools down in Arizona, Mr. Raise Your Fist.
God fucking speed. Form of a podcast.
One of those. Where'd they get you for suddenly?
We gotta do that. We gotta do this one here.
I know, right?
Something.
Oh, wait.
So anyway,
we need to throw up like blood and crypt signs too while we're at it.
Yeah.
I don't know those.
Wu-Tang ain't nothing to fuck with.
Something like that. Yeah. There we go. Anyway, welcome to our show. We got a great show for you today. A big show, a king-size show. It's been a while since we saw you last, and now we're going to kick it off with, what? What's so funny?
I accidentally had the thing open, and the videos started updating, and like, I was like, oh shit, I forgot the volume's up, so then I'm like, why is Yell Chaos coming out of my fucking TV, but like, the past tense version, and I'm like,
let's be real, guys. That's too much Yell Chaos for anyone.
Yeah, that's
even Yell Chaos.
What it is. I know. And I have to be with me all the time, so think of how I feel. Anyway, been a little while since we've seen everybody, and we're going to kick it right off with, they launched some consoles recently.
Did they?
They did.
It's the Ouya.
And
it's
I
that
don't know,
Ouya thing.
they don't know. Yeah, I mean, and I guess they don't know that you're supposed to make games for these things, but hey, they sold a few of them. So which one? So which one was it first? November the 15th, Sony dropped the PlayStation 4 on American shores. And went on to sell, what, 1 million in a day? Am I correct in that?
At 24 hours, they were like, fuck it, they're all gone.
Yeah, and it's the hottest toy that week anyway. And all this with, virtually, not many games that really push it. And,
no, there's no
Omega saying, huh?
There's not really any like killer app for the thing. It's like hardware is selling itself, which I think in the longer term is going to be kind of detrimental because it's not like a Wii situation where you have the Wii Sports and all that fun stuff to play with your grandma or a little Rugrats or whatever. Because the Wii sold itself, right, and just kept selling because you had the Wii Sports.
Well, actually, Good Morning America sold the Wii.
Yeah, you had the Wii Play and all that fun stuff. But it's like, the PS4, there's no Wii Sports for PS4. And there aren't really any games coming out until like midway through next year, and then the real glut happens at holiday season of next year. So like a full year until there's going to be games for either console, mind you, for Xbox One or PS4. So it's like, I foresee these sales falling off a cliff, but that's just me.
Well, yeah, I mean, it seems like it's just being driven by the hype. It's kind of like
absolutely.
It's kind of like the rush a few years ago when everyone went to get an iPad, and you can tell most people really didn't even know what an iPad did, but they got it to get it.
I also like when everybody rushed to go get it, and meanwhile we have had tablet PCs for almost 10 years prior to the iPad launching, and no one gave a fuck until they put a easier to grasp name on it.
Yep. Put an I in front of it, and you're good to go, right?
Like, holy shit! Apple made that?
Yeah. Have Steve Jobs walk out onto a stage with a fucking turtleneck on, and bam. Fucking
black turtleneck, jeans, and raggedy-ass tennis shoes.
Yeah, and his Just for Men haircut.
Oh.
Hey, it's not my fault, all right?
But, see, speaking of the sales, the PlayStation 4 also got to meet its competition, which Xbox One went and sold, a fucking million units as soon as it released too, so it wasn't to be outdone.
It's weird. Both systems now are locked at just over 2 million units apiece. They're literally neck and neck. Which is crazy. And initially it was like, well, yeah, but the Xbox One is sold in more territories now, which is absolutely true. It launched worldwide. whereas the PS4 only launched in North America. But now they're both worldwide, and they're still neck and neck. I think that might have just been kind of an acknowledgement that maybe Sony has lost a little bit of a foothold in Japan. I'm not sure, but or maybe that just Japan is not, clearly we all know. I mean, let's come right out with it. Japan is not the commercial powerhouse it once was in terms of the electronics industry.
Especially whenever you have their entire fucking industry basically saying that they want to go and start shifting focus on into the smartphone market and into online mobile gaming and all sorts of other territories, which definitely isn't going to help your fucking, what, $400 and $500, whatever it translates into fucking yen, system sell that does not have a vast library. And I mean, I can't say shit. I got a PS4 sitting down there, but this was going to be the first time ever for me to get a console on launch day, ever. I mean, I'm fucking 29, and this will be the very first time I ever did it. But, you know, I kind of look at the PlayStation 2 when it launched, and I was excited about that, but I didn't get it for a year, until like a year later. But that had jack all shit whenever it launched, too. I'm like...
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a while before they finally get hit with those games that are worth buying the system store. That's why I'm holding off. I don't really see a reason to pick up. I mean, because what the fuck? What am I gonna get? I mean, I'm not buying Thief 4, folks. I mean, I hate to break that to you, but I mean, Jesus Christ, that turd looks absolutely horrendous. So I mean, that ain't exactly a system seller for me. I'm not running out to grab the Xbox One or PS4 for that nonsense. But, I mean, the only thing that looks like marginally interesting is Dead Rising 3 kind of looks like a return to form for the series.
Yeah.
So that kind of interests me, just because Dead Rising 2 I was not a big fan of, but Dead Rising 3 looks like it might be a step in the right direction.
Dead Rising 2 got better, assuming you didn't buy the initial release of it and waited for them to make the follow-up that actually had Frank West in it, and they decided to make it a good game, which should have been their initial planning to begin with. But yeah, if you got it with Frank West off the case, then you were pretty much good to go. But Dead Rising 3 looks awesome, and the thing that's weird is nobody's talking about Crimson Dragon, and to me that was like one of the main games I had interest in because I'm a big Panzer Dragoon fan, and like nobody fucking cares about it, and they say that it sucks because the Kinect controls for it, and I keep on reminding everybody, but you can play it with a controller. You do know that, right? It plays with the controller.
Naturally.
The Kinect's optional, so take this shitty peripheral out of the equation and play the game the way it's meant to be, and suddenly you have a good game. But, what the fuck do I know?
Well, we got to shoehorn the Kinect and everything, just like we had to shoehorn it onto the system at the expense of every single consumer who buys the fucking, what is it, $500 friggin' or what? Jesus fucking Christ!
Yeah, the fact that they wouldn't make an optional version that didn't include the camera, because that's one thing I'll actually fucking tip my hat to Sony for at least being somewhat kind of business smart for, is not forcing their fucking camera into the system, which saved them, off $100. Or 50.
Well, look, I mean, I think if you went to a freaking key party and came home with the clap, you'd probably avoid going to many, gang fucks in the future. I think Sony learned their lesson after the PS3. The $599 US thing. I mean, that followed them around. It followed them around for years.
I'm pretty sure that they probably did like a Vine style video and kept it on loop throughout the entire office. Like a month before launch, and they said, you fucks, you listen, if we have this shit one more time, I will collapse this goddamn building down on every single one of your craniums. We will not have that shit again. They were like, okay.
Yeah, and when it's Kazurai, it's a big cranium to crush, so, I mean, it's a big friggin' deal.
I was going to say a big cranium, but unfortunately then you find out it's just empty and shit's just tumbling into it, and then finally it's filled with something useful. Granted,
no, it's filled with some kind of hot, noxious gas.
Well, that's what usually comes out of his mouth, but, we can assume that it's probably...
I know, that's a time-lapse release, that's what that is. If he lets it all out at once, then no one will buy Sony products ever again.
But as far, I mean, I think I've had a little hands-on time with both systems. Alpha, you've played both. What are your impressions like of the Xbox One and the PS4? How do you feel about what you played?
Let's see. Well, the Xbox One, admittedly, I don't have any friends that have one at all.
Because people don't exist that bought that machine. There's just no. They're making it up. There's just can't be real.
It's not real, damn.
There can't be people who watched E3 and still wanted to buy an Xbox One. That's not possible.
They're like most of my friends fall into like one of two categories. They fall into the I'm too fucking poor category, or I'm just stealing everything category. So that's pretty much my friends in a nutshell. They're like, I'll go to Bill's house and I'll play.
So they're PC gamers, is what they are.
Essentially, yeah.
Am I crazy, people? Like, okay, I've been meaning to. I'm gonna have to make a rant or something about this at some point. But I found the following is true of PC gamers, that they fall into one of two categories. Either they buy every bleeding edge technology 5 seconds before Bill Gates even fucking thinks of it, or they get all their shit for free. And I don't mean like stealing necessarily. I mean, how many PC gamer friends do you know that are just like, yeah, I got the brand new like AMD Athlon whatever graphics card. It's like, oh man, how much did that set you back? Oh, I got it for free. I got the hookup. Like, I have like 5 different friends who are just like that. Like, how do graphics cards companies even make money? There's just too many people running around with free games and free fucking graphics cards.
Especially when graphics cards are like the size of a fucking starter motor in your car now.
Like, what is AMD and ATI running a freaking anarcho-syndicalist commune or something? Like, they're just doing away with economics.
Dude, the graphics card.
They're getting together with Unisat. That's what you're doing.
The graphics card that's sitting inside of my fucking tower right now is like the same size as my Sega CDX, which is sitting down below the TV. Like, if I just took it and shoved it inside there, I'm like, look, it's the same fucking thing. Like, except for the Sega CDX, I can put a CD player, I can put a CD in it, and it's a portable CD player. And I look like a complete fucking retard walking about, but yeah, there's certain bitches out there that'll be like, that guy right there.
Oh, yeah.
A certain English guy I once knew was showing me off a graphics card. Nobody you know. And
was he intoxicated?
He's like, look at this, it's amazing. I'm like, it looks like a fucking muffler.
And the wires and tubes that go to them sometimes are really that fucking big. Like, you can strap it onto a shitty fucking like '96 Civic, and you're just like, wow, look at that. It really does fit on that. That's fucking impressive. But now, Mr. Chaos, I'm kind of curious, because me and Razorfist have actually tinkered around with the systems and stuff. Have you fucked around with either?
Well, I'll tell you. The PlayStation 4, I have not run into any demo units. The only place I've seen it displayed is just on display. You can look at the box, you can admire it for a while, and then I guess they expect you to buy it. And then I walked over to the.
I mean, what's?
Huh?
You go to a lot of
This
Walmarts
was actually
and
a Fry's Electronics.
Yeah, you remember back, like, it reminds me of back when the N64 launched, and I remember, like, going into Walmart to the electronics section and being like, I want to play, like, they'd have Star Fox that you could play, Star Fox 64, and I'd be like, yes, finally, like, this game's out. This was obviously a little while after the 64 launched, but, like, I was like, I gotta play this game, and every single time the controller would be broken. Like, it didn't matter how far I went to go to this Walmart, they were always broken and covered in what appeared to just be...
questionable fluid.
Yeah, just brown people juice.
Dude, the one thing that I saw in all the fucking demo units, I don't know how they do it. Actually, I'll fucking say it for even current systems. One on Nintendo 64 ones, the analog stick, I swear to God, they somehow managed to disconnect the actual stick itself. So it just like flopped about like it was like a very sad phallic member that nobody wanted anything to do with. And then I want to meet the fucking kids that somehow managed to chew off the fucking rubber coating on analog sticks. Like, give me my fucking controller. This shit right here, you see this rubber coating right here? I don't know what they do, but do they just go up and they're like, Now I can play. Now it digs into my thumb real good. It's like, what the? You fucking savages!
The better question is, how do they do it to the Nintendo 3DS?
I've seen that.
I know they did Target, and that fucking rubber pad is missing. It's like, someone had to come here with a fucking X-Acto knife and, like, just be a dick and peel it off. It's like, if I can't enjoy it, no one will enjoy it.
No shit. It's like a fucking caper. Like, how do they even do this? Like, they plan, they recruit their... It's like a heist in GTA 5 is what it is.
We're gonna get rid of all the nubs. They won't have any. We have all the nubs. We're cornering the market. That's so fucked up.
But,
though, like it made me sad because there was a couple times where I wanted to go to a demo unit specifically to play a game because my ass had no fucking money, but that game was right there, and then it's like I can't enjoy it. They ruined the experience. So it's like that's the worst kind of blue balling ever for a gamer. Is the game's right there, and you're not allowed to play it at all because somebody ruined it for you. Like, somebody, like, spunked on a chick before you got to ram your dick in. It's like, ah. Like, bitch, couldn't you wipe it off? And of course not. She has no class. It's like,
yeah. They poured Mad Dog 2020 on this bitch, you know.
Some OE. Put some OE on that shit. I did mention Wu-Tang Clan, so I'm going to get my urban vibe going and talk about some old fucking English. So yeah, and some Swisher Sweets, we can go and like drizzle those on her, just do that, fragrance and whatnot. So now that I've derailed this conversation, yeah, I say all this while wearing a Possessed shirt too. So Yo Chaos, you want to
hear something funny? At first, I looked at that, just the top of the logo. I could have sworn it was a fucking Social Distortion shirt. That's how freaking, like, out of it I was when I got here. So.
What are we talking about?
Meth is a hell of a drug, folks. It's a hell of a drug.
But at least it's a good drug. Dude, I'm refreshing this fucking comment section because, okay, by the way, everybody who's watching this, we have to have 2 fucking windows open so we can see what the fuck you're saying, but Google doesn't want to automatically update the comments, so we have to refresh the fucking browser because it's Google, and naturally everybody's kind of mad at it. And
no, the whole fucking thing
the best part is
with somebody's elbows. Yeah.
Well, and the best part is they added this fucking, like, spam feature, like some of these might be spam. I was like, well, you're not fucking showing them anyway, so what difference does it make?
Oh, you know what's fucked up? Ever since that they went and decided, we're going to go and put that feature in, I have to go on to every single one of my fucking videos I've uploaded since they put that change through. And every time that I do, it comes up, and it's just like, you know, following comments have been marked as spam, review comments. I click on review comments, and it's like 79 comments were marked as spam. So I'm going down the line through this shit, and not a single fucking one is spam. Not one. All of them are legitimate comments. Some of them might be fucking retarded, but that's not spam. They're just fucking retarded. So it's like, look, you're allowed to say something stupid. I even allowed the hateful comments to go through because I don't fucking care. It's not spam. It's like, Alpha, you're a dickhead. Yeah, so's your fucking mom. Okay, allow this comment. And it's like, Google, go fuck yourself. You haven't helped a single fucking thing. And then when there is actual spam, it'll be lit up like a goddamn fucking light show all over my fucking comment section, but wasn't marked as spam.
No.
Idiocy, man.
No. Oh, and you gotta love the brilliant friggin' design oversight where you can pen the great American novel in a single fucking comment now. That's genius. Jesus fucking Christ. I got people friggin' copying and pasting entire Hemingway chapters. Like, Jesus Christ.
I actually had somebody, I know it's a troll and shit, but they were going around and they were taking, like, I'm talking the entire Bible and then pasting it in there and then spamming it like 30 times in a row, like, Jesus will save you. And just, like, everywhere. And I was like, and I'm looking at it and I'm scrolling seemingly forever in an endless desert of fucking retardation. I'm like, fucking hell. This is...
Comb the desert! Comb the desert! Sorry. Spaceballs reference. God damn it.
We ain't found shit!
But yeah, in my hands-on impressions, I don't know. I still don't understand. It's kind of cool with the. I mean, I have to admit, it's kind of cool how you can instantaneously switch between shit on both systems. You know, PS4 didn't really spotlight that feature much, but Xbox One definitely did with you know, picture-in-picture and all that fucking bullshit. And
There was a lot of features that they didn't really talk about.
Yeah.
Well, that was one thing.
Like the one where you can undress your wife and shit.
Yeah, that whole thing. Right.
I did like for a while.
I mean, that's something I would have I would have told everybody, hey, this will help you undress your wife in front of thousands.
Did you guys see the rumor that everybody was trying to spread about, saying that the Kinect on the Xbox One is able to see through clothes and look at your dick?
Oh my god.
And I shit you not. Like, people lit up my fucking Facebook and my inbox with that. I'm like, okay, let me go and look into this and shit. So I click on it, and it's like a single still image. And, you know, dude, you can, like, see what looks like an outline of his cock. So I'm like, is this legit? I mean, Photoshop's done some crazy shit. So I watched a video that this is based off of, and it's definitely just a crease in this dude's pants. And I'm like, I try explaining it to people. I'm like, this is not Superman like X-ray vision. And I know that there's cameras out there, but I said, you know, if this could see through clothing to see a dick, then, you know, the dude was wearing a long sleeve shirt. You'd see his arms, you'd see his legs, you'd be able to see his fucking dangly balls.
Yeah, like, come on, dude. Like, I don't wanna bowl anyone over like a Turkish water hose. But, like, even if they could see under your fucking clothes, are you seriously telling me that they accrue any discernible commercial benefit from seeing you? I mean, first off, like, let's just address the whole, connects the eye in the sky, it's gonna fucking spy on you thing. Like, even if they could, what's the fucking benefit? Like, they're seeing you sitting in your fucking boxers on your couch with a fistful of Cheez-Its and shit. Like, this is not. Are they gonna learn to market Cheez-Its to you? It's really, like, how fucking interesting
learn to market underwear.
Your miserable existence is that you think Kinect honestly wants to spy. And more than that, like, okay, I'm sorry to break this to you, but most global conspiracies can't be foiled by draping a cloth over the fucking camera. I'm sorry. Like, if it were the Illuminati, I gotta believe their plan would be a little more fucking foolproof than that.
Every time that somebody said that, I'm like, so you're gonna tell me that this multi-billion-dollar corporation was like, damn, we've been foiled like somebody trying to put a bird to sleep in a cage. We just put a blanket over it, and shit, we've been bested by a quilt. We're fucking done.
Well, and the best part is people think that there's a massive global conspiracy for Microsoft to look at dicks. They can look at dicks all they want, man. Look at the dudes who work there.
You know that everybody at Microsoft can just go on 4chan and find some really heinous-looking ding-dongs. Like, it only takes them a couple seconds. Because, I mean, there's entire threads dedicated to, fuck it, B, I'm real bored. Show me your dick and timestamp it with a Sharpie. It's like, there you go.
Yeah, you better hope that's the only thing they're doing with the Sharpie. If it's fucking...
Well, Sharpie and Pooper Night is usually reserved for the ladies and stuff. It's kind of like free drink night or half-off drinks for ladies, but, you know, this is the 4chan equivalent. But overall, just seeing it, I'm like, God damn, that, like, even if it was X-ray vision, who cares? Like, the minute that Microsoft sees my dick, they'll give me a job. So there you go. Like, I don't really give a fuck if they were seeing my shit. If anything, I'll unzip and show it to myself.
Let's be real here. Is that any worse at the end of the day than turning on the TV and seeing one of those Merrill Lynch advertisements with a big old bull with his fucking dong flapping in the breeze? Like, come on. Just calm the fuck down. It's just a crank.
Yeah. Like, these are just dangly bits. You all have them. Some of you just wish that you didn't have the one that you do have. And some others use it as a fucking weapon, but there you go. We all have one.
Yeah. So I have no idea how we went from PS4 and Xbox One to talking about dicks.
It's simple because it's a hate podcast, and that's what we do on a professional level. We should take viewer comments.
We should.
Is it time for viewer comments?
Fuck it.
I didn't finish telling about the Xbox One.
we're live. We can do whatever.
Oh yes, we can do whatever the fuck we want.
I believe this is Yell Chaos's cue to say, "Fuck it, we'll do it live."
Yeah.
Fuck it. Well, we're doing as live as we can anyway.
But yes,
I
so
would like to
unsure
mention
about it. I don't believe we can do it live now because you didn't sound like you really believed that we could do it live right there. You're like,
where's the gumption?
The gumption? I don't. What is this? 1865 in the Cochise County? You coming at me with gumption?
I'm not far from Cochise County.
I know you're not. Calm the fuck down, Morgan Earp. With the gumption, you gonna ask me if I believe in heaven next and about the great white light?
I'll be a huckleberry.
Anyway. But I should neglect to mention that my only hands-on experience with the Xbox One was at a broken kiosk. I could touch the controller, I could look at the Kinect, and then it would just say Xbox One every couple of seconds.
Are you implying that there is a non-broken Xbox One kiosk? I mean, if there's a functional Xbox One kiosk, it's still broken. Let's be real here. All the friggin' blue screens and errors that system has.
That's true, and one thing we were talking about before the show began, the machine, and people can testify about this in the comment section. The machine is actually just a little bit smaller than I thought it would be. Just a skosh. Because, I mean, maybe just because I'm old, but I saw it. It looked like a fucking Betamax recorder.
Yeah,
it was like this big.
Razorfist is astounded.
Now it just looks like an average-sized VCR.
Dude, it's bigger than the original Xbox. It's humongous. It's a friggin' brick.
Okay, well, how about this? It may be bigger than the original Xbox, but it is not bigger than a Duke controller. Which is clearly much bigger than the system.
That's true.
And both of which are dwarfed by the CDI, which is the biggest thing ever created by man, and we use to blot out the sun whenever we need to fight in the shade. So,
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, but legitimately, like, from pictures that I saw, I swear the Xbox One looked like it was going to be the biggest thing I'd ever seen. And when I saw it in person, I was kind of surprised. I'm like, that's actually smaller than I thought. I don't know if it's one of those, like, it adds 10 pounds because you saw it on TV things, and this somehow just made it gargantuan in scope. But I was, yeah, it was that.
It's probably because real life. It's because real life isn't an internet meme. Don't tell that to 4chan, but
No.
Real life.
Wait,
my original Xbox is sitting down here somewhere, and I mean, I could probably lift it, believe it or not. So.
You are the strongest man I know. I usually invite friends down, like, I can move my fucking MVS machine over there, but the Xbox gives me a little bit of trouble. I'm like, come on, damn it! I can lift up parts of it.
You need like a spotter and a weightlifting belt and that sort of shit.
I need a whole weightlifting belt though.
Do you have a weightlifting belt that says Omega Sin on the back?
It just says fuck. That's all. It just simply says fuck. I get right to the point.
Well, it should be on the other side. If you got something that says fuck across your backside, I'd take that down if I were you.
That's a good point.
Especially
that looks more like that's like when you see a box that says take one.
Take one box. All right. It said just to take the one. I did.
Exactly.
There you go. Anyway, we'll go to some questions real quick because I can see everyone's just bursting at the seams. And I just lost it. Hey, finally it updated. How do you like that? Heavy Metal Gamer Show, who's been with us for quite a while, says, what is better, Cheez-Its or Cheese Puffs?
Oh, fuck Puffs.
I'm going with Cheese Puffs myself.
Okay,
oh, you're drunk.
Cheese Puffs are only good if they are the Cheetos Puffs, which I have trouble discerning those, but yeah. But Cheez-Its are way better because they have more variety and flavor. Plus, they taste good in soup.
What are you talking about? They're cheese versus cheese.
No. Because there's no. Here's why.
Oh, are you talking about the different branding? Well, they're talking about the different branding of cheeses that don't taste anything.
Cheeses will always be superior because there is no white cheddar cheese puff. The fucking white cheddar Cheez-Its are nothing to trifle with, motherfucker. Those things are amazing.
Despite the fact that they got the garlic ones, It might make your breath smell like a terrible butthole, but they taste delicious. And also, just breathe in the face of anyone you hate. It'll make the experience 10 times better.
It's true.
Because they're like, your breath smells. So it's like, sorry, and just do
No,
that.
you can just tell them you're Persian. It's no big deal. But, sorry.
I've never heard someone so vehemently defend like snack food. Then Razorfist. That was. I never saw someone come out so in favor of like white cheddar Cheez-Its. Goddamn.
Dude, they're amazing. Don't even be threatened.
Well, I admire your candor. Anyway, let me see here. Oh, Gold Skull 808 says, "Hey Alpha, what do you think is your favorite Batman comic graphic novel?" You get a lot of that, don't you? You're Mr. Batman these days.
I don't get as many. I get more of I want to get into comics. Where do I start? Questions, not so much what's my favorite. Let's see. There's quite a, I can actually fucking look at them from here, but I know Razorfist probably won't like this, but I really do like the Killing Joke a lot.
You're drunk.
I am not Sainted Magnus. How fucking dare you? You saw we put the bottle back in the kitchen because I didn't want to have anything to do with it because it's fucking terrible. But I mean, beyond that, fuck, I'd say Batman: The Black Mirror's become one of my more recent favorites. That book's absolutely fucking amazing. Let's see, The Long Halloween. That's my brother, by the way.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's all I can think of off the top of my head. So. I like those ones a bunch. They make me happy.
This guy...
Razorfist, do you have any sort of feelings for Batman?
This guy right here. Batman Hush Returns. Batman Hush Returns.
Are you saying that's your favorite?
That's one of my favorite, yeah.
Hush Returns doesn't even make sense.
Yes, it does, dude. Legends of the friggin' Batman. It was Legends of the Dark Knight, right? Whatever. I forget which comic exactly it ran in, but that was one of the best Batman runs there is. It was friggin' awesome. I actually like it better than the original Hush. I think if it conflicts with canon, which it actually does, then fuck the original canon because Hush is kind of overrated anyways.
Here's the thing, but they made the Joker seem like a fucking pussy throughout the entire thing.
Good. Like, he's an overrated Mary Sue. I hate that character.
Very much so, but in the newest run that he's in, he's pretty fucking awesome in that, all the deranged shit that he does. It makes me happy where I pee.
And there's one right there.
You're Batman. One.
And you know what? It is overrated, but I'll throw this guy right here. It's actually
the leather-bound one.
Yeah, it's a big leather, but it's
that's the good
Bible bookmark on it. Do you like that? Anyways, but yeah, the fucking Dark Knight Returns, whatever.
See, now I'm all leaning over to my shelf because I'm like, man, because right there I got Nightfall, which is really good, but it's a long fucking series. Like that's tons of pages upon pages and. Then Bruce Wayne Fugitive is a really good series that nobody ever seems to bring up, but is fucking fantastic.
No Man's Land. It's a good one.
And that's the few times that they make really long-running Batman series, which they don't do for whatever reason, but when they do long story arcs, I'm always pretty damn happy because they come out to be pretty damn good. Oh, and Arkham Asylum, not based off of the game. The original Arkham Asylum Serious House on Serious Earth is visually one of the most stimulating books ever and is fucking fantastically written. So, yes.
No, the one of the ones that rarely gets mentioned is actually somewhat recent. Batman Broken City is actually pretty good. It was from it's actually like from 2005 or 2006 or so. It's like a full-on like mystery noir kind of Batman story, and it's just really good. It's very classic Batman, and it was a self-contained arc in the actual Batman comic in like 2005, 2006, somewhere thereabouts. So, but that would be one of my favorites.
Razorfist, did you read was that they have a Batman Beyond book with Hush in it, and now for whatever reason, the name of it's skipping my fucking brain, but it was like when they brought back Batman Beyond into the comic book world. But did you see that? It was like much more gritty.
I haven't read any of the relaunched Batman Beyond stuff, so no.
If you can, like, and I'll tell this to everybody, because Batman Beyond, the animated series is amazing, but the comic series took a long hiatus. And when they brought it back, they did I think it's a 6 or 7 issue miniseries that was based around the character Hush, which Razorfist had mentioned. And and Hush's main theme originally was that he was a mystery. Nobody knew who he was, and that was part of the intrigue, was that you didn't know who he was. In Batman Beyond, they do that again. You don't know who the character is, and it's extremely interesting, the entire thing, and it's a lot darker than Batman Beyond, especially the current comic run, which is like the cartoons. But that's one I always tell people, pick that up. You'll fucking love it if you like the cartoons.
And if you like Batman-related stuff, I mean, I strongly recommend the early issues of Nightwing, the first Nightwing run, because it was really, really good stuff. It was, if you're a Daredevil fan like me, it's the same creative team as Daredevil had in the early 90s, late 80s, with Scott McDaniel doing art and whatnot. And it's just a great fucking run. It's excellent.
It is. It's you know what? And I'll just make this my last one for the fuck of it. And the Flashpoint run, which I know they did the animated movie, but for the love of fucking God, everybody, please get the Flashpoint book that has Batman on the front of it. It's only 3 issues long per character, and Batman's is by far the best. You know, an alternate universe where Batman is Thomas Wayne, and it's just got one of the best twists ever, and I really thought that should have been its own comic series, because he was such an amazing Batman. It was really well written, very different, and fuck was it awesome. But Flashpoint, the movie, is also good too, but the book, read the book, it's great.
Yep. Any more questions?
Yes.
More questions? All right. Let me see. Oh, we got a big fat question right here. Seth Starblefield asks, Ozzy or Alice Cooper?
Alice, come on. Fucking Alice predates Ozzy.
Well, defend your choice.
Alice has had, first off, he's recorded more albums and better albums, and he was first. And his really, really good albums, in my opinion, are a lot better than Ozzy's really good albums. So that would be my... And Ozzy Osbourne, man, every trend that comes down the pike, he tries to jump on. You know, there's no consistency to Ozzy Osbourne at all. Alice just kind of does his own thing, and he's guilty of that too. Alice is. He did the whole hair metal thing in the late 80s, early 90s. He tried.
Well, I think that's just because he was trying to fight back against punk rock.
He did a little bit of industrial in the early 2000s, that kind of stuff. I mean, he's jumped on bandwagons here and there, but I think he's just a better songwriter, is the long and short of it. He's just got a better discography. And Jesus Christ, go to an Alice Cooper show. Tell me it's not better than an Ozzy Osbourne.
Well, okay, that much I will definitely give Alice Cooper kudos to. Is a live show for Alice Cooper is a thing of majesty. You have to actually experience it. It's like going to a magic show. It's like going to a play. It's like going to a horror show. And it's all wrapped up into one. When I say a horror show, I mean like a universal, traditional, classic monster type one done classically. Like it sounds kind of corny in a way when I'm saying it, but it really does make sense when you see it. But I find them kind of hard to compare because they're two completely different singers, two completely different writers, two completely different sounds as far as, like, you know, Black Sabbath and Ozzy on his own, and then just Alice Cooper in general. And that is such a hard fucking pick because I love both a lot, and I refuse to pick, and I can do that. Well, it's too difficult. I opted for the bitch way out. I don't give a fuck.
I'd say for my money, the best of it, I think Alice Cooper has just pissed me off slightly less.
Why is that?
And, you know, Well, and also the whole Jesus thing, and he will not let Dave Mustaine die, and for that I cannot forgive him.
He did step in and save Batman's life, didn't he? What a prick.
At least twice.
Prick.
So anyway, so yeah, if I were to pick anybody, I'd go with Alice Cooper, only slightly for two reasons: Brutal Planet, and
man, great record. Raise Your Fist and
Kane
Yell.
Lynch could beat the fuck out of Zach Wilde too.
Oh man, and fucking Kane Roberts could kick the shit out of any of them, but no, Alice. His best record, in my opinion, is Raise Your Fist and Yell. Constrictor's amazing. Trash is actually pretty good, even though it's kind of glammy. Hey Stupid.
Well, I think Trash was an attempt at Alice trying to grab onto whatever the hell Aerosmith had grabbed a hold of in the late '80s.
Yeah, that whole thing. And so was Hey Stupid, but Hey Stupid had good songs on it too. Brutal Planet is awesome, and so is Dragontown. Dragontown's really underrated. Actually, this shirt
Dragontown had less to show me. I don't know what.
It's the same fucking thing.
Is it?
Anyways.
Well, sort of. Well, I don't know. I thought. Well,
I just love that he
Planet
takes
stars
Oprah on that freaking the one song on freaking Dragontown. I can't remember which one. But anyways, fucking whatever. Next question.
Next question. Let me see here. We got a lot of people bitching and complaining about Google Plus. Razor Fist, what game would you like to be remade? Says John Waters over here on Facebook.
I wouldn't mind if a decent studio, like let's say Team Bondi or something, got a hold of Blade Runner and made a Blade Runner mystery noir type game. I think that would be fucking great as a remake, because I love the PC game from 97, 98, whenever the hell that was. And it was one of my favorite games of all time. But if Blade Runner is a big enough property, and I think it would bring the Blade Runner property back into sort of the common person's eye a little bit. It would bring that whole brand sort of back to prominence. And plus, I mean, if they just used some of the same ideas that they used on the PC game, the Westwood PC game, rest in peace, I think it would be a freaking fantastic game, especially if it were like a Team Bondi or whatever. Which, by the way, Horror of the Orient looks really, really interesting to me. The fucking game they're going to be coming out with. No way it sells with that title in America. They are changing that title, I guarantee. But there's no fucking way, dude. There's no way.
Well, you never know. Worse things have happened. We just got a game called Revengeance not too long ago.
That's true. Just don't tell that to anyone. Together. You know, there's not a single thing that game does wrong in their eyes, right? Jesus fucking Christ.
No, never, ever.
No.
Oh, and Pilot Amuro Ray says Ozzy never writes his own music. Well, Ozzy never does much of anything. Going to see Ozzy is kind of like going to visit your grandpa.
Am I crazy, or is Ozzy kind of the Howard Stern of heavy metal? He's not talented himself.
You mean same old shit, different day?
No, well, that too, but he's not talented himself, so he surrounds himself with phenomenally talented people. You know, like, would anybody listen to Howard Stern if the people that he has on regularly aren't on? You know, the people who are around who are actually telling jokes and making punchlines? Like, no, nobody would fucking listen to that show because he's boring. He has nothing to fucking say. You know, but Ozzy Osbourne's like, you know, sure, I can't sing, but fucking Randy Rhoads here can play.
Well, no one tuned in to see fucking Ed Sullivan.
That's true.
That went way over everybody's head. I'm like, who the fuck? Who's Ed? Is he an Irish guy? Who's that?
We're not about to apply for fucking retirement, so yeah, naturally. But.
Okay. Here's another question that seems to have been burning through a lot of people's through their portfolios. Would it be surprising if this generation of consoles be the last before the forthcoming video game industry collapse? That's a very popular thing to talk about now, and at least in the last couple of weeks, wouldn't you say?
Are you suggesting that the collapse is forthcoming? That we're not in the process of it?
No. I'm suggesting that it already happened and no one's really been made aware of it yet.
It's like what we're seeing right now is like kind of Nero fiddling while Rome burns in a way, especially with the video game media, which... If we have a rant segment today, I'd like to regale you all further with.
Yeah, we'll get there. Don't blow your load just yet. We got a long way to go here.
But it's like the media is just drumming up like the entire industry is collapsing around them. Software sales plummeting, whatever. But all they're focusing on are the one or two good things that are going on. And of course it's good because you just launched new consoles. But you don't know if you take the longer view, there's a big question marks that need to be addressed, and nobody in the media is fucking addressing. You know what I mean? So.
Well, something that I've had to go up against, because a lot of people, and don't get me wrong, there's some lovely, nice people right here on YouTube. None of the fuckers that run the place, but some of the people that show up are nice people who are well-intentioned people, and essentially just like to repeat whatever the fuck they heard David Cage or who's that one fuck from Sweden, Peter Suck-a-Dick, whoever, Molyneux, that's right, Peter Suck-a-Dick Molyneux. And there seems to be a whole bunch of repeating about, and the same thing Cliff Bleszinski said about how this is going to be the last generation of consoles because of cell phones.
There's no way.
Doesn't really, I mean... It's just amazing to me the way that people will just draw that as like that's a natural conclusion.
No, and it becomes like a full-on... I mean, you remember the video game industry, the video game media, rather, industry has been so guilty of having the same thing where one person who's mildly respected or even not respected, like Michael Pachter, will say something really fucking stupid. And then everybody latches onto it like it's matter of fact. Like in a matter-of-fact fashion, and repeats it. Like, remember in 2009 when you couldn't watch a single episode of, like, the bonus round on GameFailers.com without them, their little panel of analysts look like a fucking Judge Joe Franklin panel, fucking constantly spouting this pablum like a mantra of, social gaming is the future. Fucking Facebook gaming is the future. Like, how's that looking to you now, exactly? Like, with Zynga nearly going into fucking foreclosure. Like, seriously, guys, how stupid do you look now saying that? And they said it every time a camera was pointed in their face. Social gaming, Facebook gaming, is clearly not the fucking future. In fact, it doesn't have a future. So it's like, one person will say something, and it's like the rest of the fucking herd follows suit. And it happens over and over again.
And not just that, it only seems like it's just like just the news cycle almost seems to reprogram people who at one point had genuine thoughts in their head to where it gets into their head and then they begin to spin it around. The fact remains that this is not the last run of the consoles. This is not the last run of anything. Business is going to be down. That goes without saying. Business has been down for a while. And simply pretending that it isn't is not getting you anywhere.
Yeah.
But, just because one supposedly prevailing technology shows up, that means nothing. That has, I mean, I guess the better example was one that I like to go to is just because the Betamax came out, it didn't take down the VHS.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're old enough to remember that anyway.
Well, fuck, just because Blu-ray came out, it didn't take out the DVD. Let's use a modern analog.
No, DVD's still beating the shit out of Blu-ray.
Exactly. And that's just it.
So
like, they're just latching onto the new in lieu of good news, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a very unhealthy frame of mind.
Absolutely.
In my estimate.
Wants like a true reflection of, the current state of where gaming is kind of heading in regards of, are things positive or negative or just kind of the same. All you have to do is just look at the constant shuffle of publishers that are just taking down their development studios by a third and then casting them to the side. They're taking entire franchises, casting them to the side, taking entire projects, looking at the projected sales of said franchise prior to that, and then saying, it's not worth it because it won't hit 3 million in sales. Yep. Within 2 weeks, so we can't bother with it. And
it's happening. I mean, God, how successful was L.A. Noire? And we're never getting a sequel to that. Never. Because in Rockstar's mind, it wasn't the Beatles of video gaming, so it's not even worth making a sequel. Like, fuck you, Rockstar. Go fuck. That game was awesome, and it sold millions of units.
And what kind of line of thinking is that?
It's ill, is what it is, and it's really, really detrimental to the future of the industry, because if you can't have mild successes, what do you think big successes are built off of? Like, it's not a straight line to success. There's a step ladder. You have to build to your success, and it's like they are completely killing the first like 5 steps of the staircase, basically, and so you just have to leap up.
It's bad when you look at a lot of the franchises that we consider to be like the be-all, end-all classics that essentially built gaming, and if you look at their sales, they weren't really shit. But if you also look at the amount of money that it took to make games back then, and then even take into account of accurate inflation from then till now, for people to make games cost like a fucking, I don't know, some astronomical number much larger than what it did originally, and that's depressing to think about, because then a lot of the stuff that we'll have a lot of interest in has to become indie, or it just doesn't happen, or it becomes, you know, Kickstarter, and then that's got all of its own fucking issues, and it's such a bad fucking thing, because I happen to really like niche games, things that are different, that stray away from the norm. I like that a whole fucking bunch, and that's not some fucking stupid ass, oh, you just like it for the sake of being different. No, I like fucking variety. I like when somebody takes a fucking chance with a game, and if you give me the same piss-ass thing that every other fucking numbnut out there bought time and time again, and you keep reskinning it, well, that's the current industry that we're in right now, and we're drowning.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, it's very similar.
And it's
very similar if you were to go to a video arcade these days. If you go to a video arcade, it's the same fucking shit. There's games that spit out tickets, there's games where you can drive, and there's games where you can shoot. And that is all. And that's exactly what we're dealing with in the home market. And they wonder why these sales are failing. It's like Razor Fist. I hate to plug what you do, because, you know, you get enough plugging as it is. But
are you telling me
blog a little while ago about
someone?
Hey, you can plug whoever you want. That's your own business, all right? But
not
like
in
you talked
my
about the death of, like you talked about the death of the middle market. You know, you need a middle so that way someone can rise to the top. If you don't have that middle, you know, it's like you said, you've removed you've removed rungs from the ladder. You know, and
no, absolutely.
It's almost like.
It's getting to the point where you're either making a cell phone game for $15 with 2 people in a room, or you're making Call of Duty Ghosts. You know what I mean? There's no fucking middle ground. And there's like, you know, 1 or 2 middle market titles released in an entire year. And that's like, it's so comical at this point how freaking wide the disparity is.
Well, and I think that's interesting is the analogy that kind of comes to mind. This reminds me of like the last 18 months of WCW. You know, WCW toward the end was drowning under the weight of all these old fucking, you know, high dollar wrestlers that weren't making as much money, weren't drawing as much money as they once were. Yeah. And essentially just destroyed any chance for any of the smaller guys to get over, because all this money was being invested to keep the top heavy, and then of course it became top heavy, and now it's beginning to sag a bit. You know, I mean that's the best analogy I'd come up with in such short notice.
And they were the old men in fucking WCW were definitely sagging a bit. Jesus fucking Christ, man! Ric Flair, man, it's crazy. Ric Flair was only in his 40s then. He already had saggy old man boobs. Like Jesus Christ, Ric Flair, get a bra.
Yeah, but don't forget, he's been bleeding like a 60-year-old man for the past 40 years. So. That dude, he just droops and bleeds. That's what he does.
But when it comes right down to it, I mean, what's the main culprit? It's cosmetics. It's visual fidelity that's causing it. It's driving it. And let's be real, like, one person's pretty game is not another person's pretty game. Like, they spent an awful lot of money on Call of Duty Ghosts visually. I don't think it looks like anything, especially if you play the 360 or PS3 version. Jesus, they must have crapped that version out in an afternoon. It's so pixelated and disgusting. You know, one of the ugliest games I've played in recent memory. But like you play it on PS4, whatever, it's like nothing but eye candy. But not everybody's going to find that attractive. Like, one person's going to look at a chick and say, yeah, I'd like to get inside that. The other one's going to say, wow, that chick could bend forks with her fucking face. You know what I mean? It's never the same for two people. It's a completely pointless gesture. You're basically just jerking yourself off so you can pretend that you're moving forward, because you cannot innovate in terms of gameplay, so you're just innovating in terms of visuals.
But
driving up these development costs like crazy.
With Call of Duty as an example like that, it gets brought up so often, but it's hard not to, because it's the fucking front runner, and it's the cash cow, and it's something that is kind of what's wrong with the industry and the mentality that people have about the industry, and it fucking kills me so much to think that I run across so many people that just say, I hate Call of Duty, then they turn around and buy it, and I'm like, didn't you just say that you fucking hated that game? And they say, well, yeah, but my friends bought it, so I had to as well. And I'm like, hold the fucking phone. I don't go and listen to a fucking band I don't like because my fucking friend listens to it. I don't go watch a fucking TV show that I hate, quotation marks, that I fucking hate, because my friends are fucking watching. These are forms of entertainment. Are you going to sit down through a fucking, like, 800-page novel and read it because every other fucking asshole out there did? No, you're supposed to play something because you like it. And beyond that, like, Razorfist, before the show started, gave me a good fucking laugh, which I should have expected this to be fucking said, but told me that the campaign in Call of Duty Ghosts was a whopping, how long?
4 fucking hours I finished that game.
4 fucking hours, that's it. And the bad part about it is that 4 hour, he's the fucking minority. He is at 0.5% of the entire fucking group of people who bought that fucking game, because everybody goes directly into multiplayer. Like, they ought to just make the game download only and fucking leave it at that, because nobody buys the game for it to be a game. They go on there to fucking jerk off over the stats that they fucking have, and if the game isn't the most visually appealing, most quote-unquote realistic-looking shit ever. And guess what, asshole? All you fuckers out there that think that your game looks so fucking realistic doesn't look realistic within months of that game's release. It suddenly looks dated as shit, and that's the only
frankly,
thing.
Like, it looks dated. It's gonna look dated in a couple months, anyways, just because of all the stupid visual tropes they use. You know, the fucking man. If I see one more linear lens flare in a fucking game, am I right? Like, I am freaking looking at that.
I love the lens flare. It's like, am I a camera? Am I a fucking TV screen? Why is this happening?
Yeah, like that's a flaw in a camera lens. Do you understand this doesn't happen?
Yeah, it's not even a real camera.
Like, what in the, like, I get it. Beauty is in the eye and the head up the ass of the beholder, but can we fucking stop this bullshit? It happens in every game. It was in Splinter Cell Blacklist, like everywhere. I couldn't believe, like, this game was wallpapered with fucking linear lens flares.
Okay.
So, I'm just gonna say this. Hey, Mickey Young? I don't know. You want me to say hi or us to say hi? So, hi.
Hi.
Oh, why aren't you answering my questions? I'm a big fan. Maybe because you didn't ask a question.
Said say hello. So I was like, okay, I think that we ought to say hello. So there. Yay.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Let me see here. All right, back over on the HateBit podcast Facebook. I lost it. Here it is. Ben Stilka, who's a regular contributor here on the HateBit podcast. He says, "Why does it seem that this new generation doesn't feel like much of a leap as the other generations before it?" Well, because it isn't.
Because if it were a larger leap, they would completely break the bank and they wouldn't be able to make games anymore. Honestly, I think that's a big part of it. Like, did you hear, like, the freaking budgets on new titles for next-gen games, for 8th gen, are already increasing by, what, 15 to 20%?
And most game
companies... Well, not to mention the fucking empty threats coming from the publishers about it, like they're going to be more expensive. It's like, yeah, whose fucking problem is that?
Well, and let me tell you, like, 15 to 20% if I'm going down to freaking Burger King to buy a Whopper, 15 to 10%, 15 to 20% of that, and not that much. But let me tell you, when you're talking about a $200 million game budget, that's not a small chunk of change.
Yeah. No, it's
not the slightest.
That's the thing that like I had just kind of referenced slightly, but like it's really too expensive to have games out nowadays. Razor Fist had talked about in one of his own videos on his channel, which, by the way, if you don't know about Razor Fist and Yell Chaos on here for whatever fucking reason, down below is their fucking channels. Please click on them. Anyhow, the middle market almost doesn't fucking exist anymore, and it's true. If you look, like, I'm looking around my game room right now. Like, back there, there's some Sega Saturn games. You know how many of those fucking games wouldn't exist in modern-day gaming? Like, a vast majority of those would not exist whatsoever because that middle market isn't around. A lot of those niche games wouldn't be able to get brought over here domestically, let alone developed here at all. It's just like, I think about that, I'm like, that's...
No, this is... you know what? This is probably the only middle market game I played all year, is Dark. For 360, and it's got its issues, but it's a lot of fun, and it's also trying some different things, and it's a stealth game. You know, it's not a fucking shooter, it's not a third-person shooter, it's not using stealth as one component of a game that's predominantly action-focused, Skyrim. So it's like, I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. It's just, that's one game in an entire year. I can't think of a single other middle market title that I played all year. That's mind-blowing. This year is going to be over in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
What the? Go fuck yourself, video game industry.
There you go. Let me see here. I forgot. Oh, yeah, so anyway. Oh, god damn it. Oh. Tyler Mullet wants to know, what is the best King Diamond album? I don't know. I know my favorite.
Conspiracy.
My favorite is The Eye.
Oh, okay.
Conspiracy is a good one.
My favorite. I dig the Conspiracy the most. I don't think much. King Diamond has never released a bad album. Let's just say that out front. But I think after Mickey D left his band and was no longer his drummer, kind of struggled to find his way, because that rhythmic thing that Mickey D was doing, because he's one of the best drummers in the fucking world. I mean, listen to him in Motorhead right now. He's incredible. But when he left, the band kind of lost that rhythmic sort of thing that was going on. He never really found...
and that's what's so weird about... That's what's so weird about The Eye. The Eye is a bunch of songs written, you know, most of them songs written with Mickey D in mind, and then eventually recorded with the drum machine.
Yeah,
but I feel that album.
That was weird, but I like The Eye a lot. I think it's freaking badass.
Yeah, I just think it's an album that kind of got overshadowed because of when it came out. It came out in 1990, which was when metal was supposedly on its way out, and you know, because that's when, you know, Cowboys from Hell came out, and that whole kind of the groovy side of thrash metal started to come out. So the heavy metal thing kind of fell by the wayside. It's unfortunate. But that's my entry. Alpha Omega Sin, do you have any feelings about the Diamond King?
I was trying to think.
You could also pick a Merciful Fate record. Let's say that if
you could. I didn't know that.
I'm trying to fucking think off the top of my head, and I'm doing real bad because oh my god, it's the fucking chick's name. God damn it.
Abigail.
Thank you.
There you go.
Great.
The first one, the second.
And it's really bad because, like, I even had a fucking poster of it for a while, and I'm like, oh my god, you fucking brain fart. I was about to search it, and be like, I know what it is. I'm not fucking crazy.
I love, the one thing I love about that record that's better than any of the other King Diamond records is the production on it is so fucking cool. I don't even know how to, like, describe it. It just has a really cool, like, the guitars sound amazing, the drums sound, everything about that record sounds amazing. And my favorite
that was like my first time ever hearing him at all.
Yeah.
Like I'd never, and honestly, when I first heard him, I didn't really like him because I was young.
An acquired taste. He's definitely an acquired taste with those vocals.
As you know, my taste matured. I'm like, you know what? Actually, this shit's really fucking awesome, especially like lyrically, dude. Oh my god, there's some fucking amazing shit. But like when I first heard it, I'm like, oh, this is fucking stupid. And I went and I listened to Slipknot, because I'm a young fucking dumbass kid. And then, now here I am, like, nah, good shit. Definitely.
No, it's like, my favorite song on that record isn't even on the record. It was a B-side to one of, I don't know was it No Presents for Christmas or something? He released a single or something, and the B-side is called Shrine. And this song is so friggin' bad. It is like one of the coolest King Diamond songs, and it's not even on the album technically. But they put it on like the re-releases and shit, which is awesome.
We gotta ask the question like that. I kind of like. What do we all want for Christmas? So do you all want to just pick one gift that we can get for Christmas?
Super Mario 3D World. A gaming industry that makes games.
Yeah, yes, please. Just a gaming industry that isn't in complete free fall. That would be fucking great.
Well, and then one that's decided they're going to make games instead of fucking movies.
Yes. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Anybody played any of Beyond Two Souls? What a festering turd. Like, everything that was wrong with Heavy Rain.
Wait, is that the Willem Dafoe simulator?
Oh, man, it's like they took everything bad about Heavy Rain and amplified it, and everything good, they were like, so long, goodbye. Like, we just need the shitty stuff, thank you very much. Go fuck yourself, David Cage. The worst game Quantic Dream has ever made, without question.
Will you be doing a review of it?
If I get to play it to completion, yeah. Yeah.
See, look, I'm plugging his channel right there for you motherfuckers. So there you go.
I feel like you're selling ShamWow.
You have to make a game before you can play.
Wait, no, I need to have that big fucking headset on too while I do it, and then I have to talk about like, all right, so I got the Yo Chaos version of the Slap Chop here, Slap Chop.
Yes. Outstanding.
And can I have I want an Alpha Omega WoW. Maybe I can have that. That would be pretty cool. It can absorb stupidity, making it the most handy-dandy item anybody has whatsoever.
So what about Chaos? What do you want? Something.
I want Super Mario 3D World and a game industry that makes games.
Yes. Very, very succinct.
If I could have, mind you, if they start making games, they'll be able to fit it into a stocking. So
yeah, that's the other thing. I'd like for Thief 4 to not suck. That would be great.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that shit.
Yeah. Good luck.
Alpha Omega Sin, we've got a special request from a young lady named Sabrina Locke, who wants us to let our hair down.
Our hair down? So wait, so do we have
I'm way ahead of you, so.
Yeah,
I know. Well, that's probably why she.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put my hair back up, but yeah, there we go.
Are you gonna let it down to be all sexy and what have you? Let me see here.
I have a big beard.
Joshua Smith. Joshua Smith says, "Alpha, have you picked up the Game Chasers DVD? And if so, do you like it?"
I have not, because I will just end up going to Texas and being like, "Hey, give me one right now."
Give me that shit.
No, I actually do plan on making another trip down to Texas, and whenever they get the extra batch, I've actually been really frugal with my money lately, like really frugal, because I'm trying to get a car. So I haven't been buying a lot of shit at all. The only thing that any of my extra money that's gone to that wasn't paying for my fucking bills has been devoted to holiday shopping. And that's it. So I know that sounds really lame and boring. Like, ooh, boo, adult shit.
F that noise.
Oh wait, I can go into full Alpha Omega Sin mode, guys. I can put on a hat even though it's like 1,000,000 degrees in my house. Yeah. Yo.
No offense, but with that voice, if you just put the beanie up a little bit more so that there's a little point on it, I would feel like you'd be like, hey, you know, the cookies are right over here in the tree. Pushing a wheelbarrow under a giant mushroom.
I'm the most metal Keebler elf who's ever been Keebler.
All right. So, any more questions, or we move on to the next?
Enon Billington said Shrine was actually on the Family Ghost single.
There you go. That was the one that was on.
And Sharon was on No Presents for Christmas. Thank you, Mr. Billington.
Wait.
Appreciate that.
Somebody just asked, is DMC better than Revengeance? DMC isn't better than anything at all. It's a piece of fucking shit.
And neither is Revengeance while we're at it.
Understand something, that DMC is... It's crap on crap on crap on crap, and then they tried saying that it was going to be the coming of fucking Christ, and then it sold for shit. Hey, next time, Capcom, when you want to go and reboot a franchise because the last entry didn't sell that well, your new entry that was supposed to spice things up shouldn't sell like half the amount of units. Just saying, just throwing it out there.
Yeah, and matter of fact, maybe send that same memo over to Ubisoft Montreal. Over the fucking... Or actually, it was Ubisoft Toronto, technically, that made Splinter Cell Blacklist. Hey, guys, we're going to change everything that was great about this series, but, you know, it's so that it'll sell better to a wider audience, and then it winds up selling half as much as Splinter Cell Double Agent. Gotcha.
We realized that QuickTime events are a lot better than actual stealth.
Absolutely.
You know, thinking and planning out your entire fucking, like, idea of how you're going to take down this corporation... Yeah, fuck all that. Just go in guns blazing and make sure you hit the fucking A, B, X, Y, whatever buttons.
Oh yeah, and having constant waves of enemies just randomly show, like literally, you're leaving a building that you just cleared of all enemies, and waves of enemies are appearing to bar your exit. It's like, I just killed everyone. What is this game? What are you doing?
I'm doing waves of enemies. I am now a wave of enemies.
Outstanding.
Oh, damn it. Somebody had said, when will we see the triumphant return of Pixel Fucker? And I forgot. I took my golf club upstairs. I actually have a baseball bat and a golf club in my bedroom because I'm of sound mind that if I hear a sound at all that's not okay, I can just rush downstairs and crack their fucking head open immediately. I used to keep a butcher knife up there, but then it actually dug into the mattress, and I didn't like that.
Well, you do live in Pittsburgh. It's understandable.
I do, and I've lived I grew up in the worst part of Pittsburgh, so that's what it's gotten is. Whenever you go to somebody's house and the first thing that happens, you get a gun pulled on you, you're like, you know what? I've learned my lesson, and that was time number 2, by the way.
Wow.
You start mauling motherfuckers at random.
No, I was raised in South Phoenix, so I know the feeling. The South Phoenix is basically Tijuana 2 Electric Boogaloo, essentially.
I thought you live in North Phoenix.
Well, no, I live in actual Central Phoenix, but no, I was raised in
Phoenix proper. Yeah. Okay, well now we know.
Yeah. No.
The more you know. Jeremy Knopf wants to know, or he says, I never heard any of you talk about this, but what are your thoughts about Ben Affleck being the next Batman?
You want to take a razor fist?
No, you know what? You first, because you're the Batman guy. You go first.
Okay. Whenever I had heard the news, it was nothing but people flipping the fuck out. And I'm talking like legitimate death threats and all this other shit. And that's when I came to the conclusion that I'm going to give the guy a fucking chance, because no matter what, I've thought that tons of people weren't proper for whatever role that they were elected to go and play. Then I saw them play it, and I'm like, kudos to you. And Ben Affleck, if this was like Ben Affleck circa 2001, I'd say he doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell. But the dude's more mature, actually, I'm pretty sure could do a decent job if he really tries. It's just they have to have a half-decent script, and they have to realize that this is a Superman movie first and not a Batman movie first. So hopefully they have that shit together in their fucking head.
So, yeah, sometimes you expect someone to suck, and they turn out surprised, and it winds up that they surprise you, and other times it's Anne Hathaway in The Dark Knight Rises.
Anne Hathaway, you mean the butt and boobs with a fucking Catwoman hat or whatever the fuck she had?
What in the fuck were they thinking? Why? What? She didn't. beyond the fact that the part didn't need to be in the movie, she sucked at it. Let's be real. She was not good. I don't understand that at all. But for me, I don't really. I think it's going to be more of an action-oriented movie anyways, so it'll probably fit better. I just don't think it's not a Nolan Batman movie, guys. It's not gonna be, which is probably for the best because I think that whole thing has kind of run its course. So they're gonna do something different. It's gonna be more action-oriented. I'm not a big Superman Batman fan. I don't think I've read a single issue of that comic that I liked, even with Ed McGuinness's awesome art. But it just. For other people, there are lots of people who like Superman Batman. It's sold huge. It wound up having how many action figure lines and whatever. It was extremely successful.
You already know that all it is it's a fucking jumping off point so that they can start bringing in the Justice League, and that's all it is. At the end of the day, everybody can take it for what it is, but this is their way to go and funnel out all the shit. So it's. And I personally don't mind that approach. That's absolutely fine. If this is going to be the way that we can finally get Wonder Woman onto a fucking screen other than the 70s TV show, which is fucking awesome and definitely still fat-worthy, then by all fucking means.
Yeah, or the Michael Bay-esque pilot that came out a while back. But
Oh, and the animated movie, by the way, since we were talking about comics earlier, the animated direct-to-DVD Wonder Woman movie is one of the best comic book movies that you will see. And I don't even give a shit about Wonder Woman comics. And I watched that and was like, that's fucking amazing. So
once again, it's a problem of, like, if they do Wonder Woman, they need to actually establish some kind of a continuity and some kind of a link. It might actually help with her being integrated with the Justice League because there'll be more of a stable world. Like, the problem Wonder Woman comics have, I mean, how many volumes are they up to now? 20-something? They literally have to reboot that character like every 2 years because their audience dies off after 2 years like clockwork because they get some gimmicky writer who's usually some, like, gay rights writer or something. Like Alan Heinberg is a good example. They just get somebody who's, like, got one issue and is famous, like, worldwide, and that person comes on and they don't give a crap about continuity and they don't give a crap about Wonder Woman either. They just give a crap about how they're a celebrity and they're going to write this comic and they're supposedly a great writer and whatever. And they've done that time and time again. They're doing it now with Wonder Woman. But it's like the movie needs to have its own established continuity so that Wonder Woman can actually be seen as being taken somewhat seriously, essentially. So.
What's really sad is I'm more excited about the prospect of the Justice League Dark movie that they're proposing. I'm like 10 times more excited about that because I think that they can pull that off with more finesse. Because they won't be as, like, bogged down by expectations.
And I don't give a shit about the Justice League, so I'm going to do a dance. I'm going to do the Macarena. But
yeah. So, but the Macarena, you say, and Wonder Woman. Speaking of Wonder Woman and an iron uterus, there's some trouble going off over at the Mighty Number 9 community. Anybody hear about this? The trouble going on with Gloria Ironbox. No, I'm sorry, Dina Abu Karam. Sorry, my fault. Now I don't know a lot about this, but the Hate Bit Podcast Network of Hate has just been losing their fucking minds over there on Facebook in the last couple of days. And so I did a little research and found out that this lady is referred to as a social justice warrior. And now, raise your fist, I know you love social justice. So tell me all about social justice and your very forward progressive opinion of Dina Abu Karam.
She's planning to form the Social Justice League, actually, and it'll actually probably be better than the upcoming Justice League movie. But
and they always meet on Tumblr together or Reddit.
Oh, that's
the social media Justice League.
It's just one more way that this broad can get her face out there. That's all it is. That's all it ever is for her. It has nothing to do with the content.
Well, the funny thing is,
she's been called out how many times, like full blast, like called out, disproven on how many things, like the Legoland controversy that this loopy slag brought up, like, oh, there's no women in the Lego, and when they show women, they're wearing dresses. Well, it's a Lego person. What do you want, genitalia on these people? Like, what is it's a Lego person. Get a grip. Jesus.
Put some Lego talia on there.
Yeah, like, it has gone so far off the deep end at this point. But at the end of the day, it has to do with one thing and one thing only, and that is that this broad doesn't want to get a real job. So she needs to get her face out there. And so every time she stirs up some false controversy, she gets her face out there and gets a little cash. That's all there is to it.
Well, now, you're the expert on such progressive mindsets. I'd never heard of her. And what do you know her from, if you know anything? I mean, I'm assuming you know.
No, just once again, it's the same fucking Tumblr warrior Anita Sarkeesian bullshit. Is essentially.
Oh, that sort of thing. Because I know everyone was very upset about it.
Yeah, it's and that's a whole there's a whole milieu of that. I mean, there's a whole fucking set of it. You know what I mean? So it's and let's not even start on Anita Sarkeesian, but yeah, not fun.
Oh well, somebody you know very well already took care of that for us, so at least those bases are covered.
Alpha,
but yeah, speaking
done a rant on Anita Sarkeesian? Is that ever done?
Wait, are we still talking about the Mighty Number 9 bitch?
No. Have you ever done one on Anita Sarkeesian?
Well, we're talking about the precursor, I imagine.
No, not on that lady. No, I haven't actually taken the piss out of her, but I was thinking about going and drilling the fucking existence of the Mighty Number 9 chick. I'm bad with names, so I'm just gonna call that other bitch and the Mighty Number 9 bitch, because that's a lot easier for me to remember. But
well,
recently, Mighty Number 9 bitch came to mind, and I sat there just shaking my head because I was brought up by two very strong women in my life. My mom and my sister, and I actually presented the story to my sister, ironically, because she actually follows a lot of the shit that I end up doing. I'm like, can you believe this shit? And she just laughed and called her every fucking name that she could think of. And if my mother was still alive, she would want to go and put the boots to this bitch. Because here's my thing. This is somebody that has a fucking agenda to fill and is doing it in the wrong goddamn place. Because the last time that I checked, when I go to work, I leave my fucking problems, my opinions, my life at home. I get my fucking job done, and as soon as I clock out, that's when I do whatever the fuck I want. I am not going to sit there and fuck. Like, that's the same as somebody going there and spouting a bunch of religious nonsense or a bunch of political nonsense or some shit like that.
And ironically, they'll bash people who do that for religious reasons too. Ironically,
and here's the thing: she's starting shit for the sake of starting shit, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
There isn't a fucking problem. It's like you're creating a fucking mountain out of an anthill just for the sake of doing it because you're getting your name out there. And at the end of this, if that bitch isn't fucking fired, it's out of fear. And that's really fucking sad. And I saw that bitch's art, by the way. I got to see what she was hired for and she's supposedly doing. She's a complete shit fucking artist. And on top of that, she's taken a product that's had nothing but positive publicity and is now giving it the one fucking kink that it does not need. And that's no way to go. That's when I'd be like, you're out. Get the fuck going. Hit the brakes. The only reason you're in here is because somebody else elected to have you in here, and now you're pulling this shit, and that's fucking wrong. And every fucking chick that I know that plays games is completely ashamed of somebody like her, quote unquote, being a representative, which she's not.
Yeah. No, once again, it's just. It is part of this kind of orchestrated effort by people like Sarkeesian and so forth to try and create this myth of video. I mean, look, there are actually probably good arguments to be made in certain games in very specific circumstances of misogyny in video games. But the problem is these people shout so loud and their voices are so shrill and their arguments are so thin and vapid that it's impossible for the actual merits of their argument to be heard. if Anita Sarkeesian had 2 brain cells to carry a static charge, she could make an effective argument that there's misogyny in X game or Y game, but she can't because she's too busy imagining bullshit about Legoland and fucking complaining that because there was a rape scene in Tomb Raider, or an implied rape scene in one of the earliest builds of Tomb Raider that doesn't even show anything, and that depicts her in a powerful light, ultimately, as well, that's somehow misogyny. Like, it's just, they're too busy with that bullshit, so the actual argument never gets heard. I'm sure there are genuine inequalities in entertainment, but you will never hear it from these gibbering dolts.
See, the thing that I think is fucked up is I wonder where was this flock of cunts at with all their fucking opinions and all of their might whenever there was companies over in Japan, and Japanese video game companies, and they treated all their fucking female workforce employees and all the other shit like complete garbage. To the point that didn't one of them kill themselves?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing. Like, not only do they treat the employees bad, but I mean, how many Japanese games are, I mean, very misogynistic? I mean, there's the whole H game genre, for Christ's sake. I mean, there's children being molested and stuff, and that's the thing that really pisses me off. The double standard. They will only attack, you know, and this is how you know that people like Sarkeesian are full of shit. They will only attack the really big targets. Yeah. Like, they're not going to say a mumbling word about H games or eroge or any of the stuff in Japan because, number one, that'll be seen as politically incorrect because that's cultural somehow. And so we can't tell other people how to live, right? Except for when they live in the same place you do, right? So, but that whole thing, it's such a phenomenal double standard as far as I'm concerned.
You'll notice they only attack people who have enough money to pay them to go away.
Exactly. Bingo.
It's pretty much, hey, what's in the news? Oh, I heard about that. I guess I can make something up about this and try to become, fucking famous and a front runner for some kind of army. And it's like, you're trying to create a personal army for your agenda. That's really it. You just want to feel special.
You know what it reminds me of? You know what? We're talking about this. It reminds me a lot of PETA. If they don't care about ethical treatment of animals, they're attacking Super Mario, for Christ's sake. They're looking for publicity. It has nothing to do with fighting for social justice. It has to do with fighting for their fucking pocketbook, period.
It's about saving money on a PR budget.
Yeah, it is at the end of the day, and it's fucking depressing whenever it's like, you know what, I'm all for any kind of group getting together for equality, because as far as I'm concerned, that's the way that it should and always will be. But it's like you're going about it all the fucking wrong ways, and you know that you're going about it all the wrong ways. You're attacking the wrong fucking targets, and it's fucking shameful because at the end of it, the people that really are rising up to the occasion to do something about it, then all of a sudden it's like the whole, cry wolf scenario where you won't be taken as serious and nobody's going to fucking listen to what you're saying because of all those other fucking asshats that ruined it prior to you because they had to go and water down the fucking meaning of it. So that bitch and the other fucking bitch can go fuck themselves right out of an airplane, no parachutes, jump the mountainside.
With Harrison Ford clinging to the edge of the plane saying, "Get off my plane."
Yeah. Wait, that's sexist. That's sexist, Mr. Fist. How dare you? He has a penis.
Exactly. You see, it's a symbol of a rape fantasy somehow because you see the fuselage is phallic and like there's a thing and also words.
And there's wings, which is symbolic of menstruation.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just had some weird thing go through my head where I imagine a female Indiana Jones, and it's a tampon string that he's whipping now. Anyway, continue forward before my brain conjures more terrible.
Oh, jeez. No kidding. Anyway, well, actually, we're getting towards the end of the show, Mr. Omegason. Because we've been on here for a very long time. We've soaked up enough of your time as it is, but now it's time for my favorite part, your favorite part, and of course, that guy's favorite part, the rant! Mr. Fist!
You realize the image is mirrored, so you probably pointed the wrong way. But,
Well, I don't give a shit. People go both ways.
I alluded to it earlier, but man, this is gonna be the easiest rant ever. Basically having beheld the recent media coverage of the Xbox One and the PS4, like, okay, media, I really just have one question. IGN, GameSpot, Destructoid, 1UP, Game Failures, Polygon. Okay. Where are your fucking pom-poms? The video game media has never been, shall we say, a particularly morally fastidious brood. Keep in mind, this is the only major wing of the journalistic milieu where the subjects of the articles also happen to be the ones paying the writer's fucking salary. Suffice to say, when it comes to setting the proverbial bar for, objectivity, let's just say that limbo stick is affixed well fucking south of the equator at this point. But even by their impressively profligate standards, and I mean, we've covered some pretty egregious media coverage as far as video games are concerned at this point, your coverage of the current gen launch hasn't been yellow. It's been motherfucking jaundiced. Big Bird is wearing sunglasses looking at you fuckers. And to me, this is like scheduling the reception before the motherfucking wedding. Yeah, it's great the Xbox One and PS4 have had a stronger launch than any systems in history, but like nestled beneath the waves in this just sea of pseudo-journalistic splooge is a very real, very large, and very angry elephant in the room. An elephant who has been very deliberately buried, and I think we've covered pretty sufficiently how he's been buried. An elephant who's wondering how bright and sunny these new systems, prospects are, with little to no software coming out until holiday season of next fucking year. I mean, to put a finer point on it, despite selling a collective over 4 million units at launch between the two of them, in less than a full month, actual software sales for both of these consoles are piss fucking poor. In fact, just 5 days ago, the NPD, who's responsible for, announcing these sales figures, revealed that despite the two biggest hardware launches in history, software sales industry-wide actually fell year over year by over 24%. 24%. I mean, how did I find this out? Mind you, it certainly wasn't a headline anywhere. I didn't see it as front page news on GameSpot or IGN. In fact, I actually discovered this completely by accident because GameSpot.com actually secreted this item of information away in the body text of an article during which, and here's the hilarious bit, Sony was actually bragging about their PS4 software figures. This is like the New York Times concealing news of the docking of the Hindenburg in an article about how safe Zeppelin rides are. Video game journalism at this point is nothing but a gaggle of hacks for hire given perfect 10s in exchange for perfect 10s and 20s. And given how many websites have walked the figurative plank over the last 3 years, rest in peace GameSpy, it's a field that has long since outlasted its utility. So either close up shop or put down the pom-poms and do your fucking jobs. I'm Razor Fist, God fucking speed.
I have my pom-poms.
We love your pom-poms. They're very shapely, Alpha.
Oh wait, those pom-poms. Those guns? Yeah.
I feel like that flexing should come with Macho Man sunglasses.
Oh, dude, wait. Hold on. I'll be back.
Oh, he's got him. He's got him.
He's gonna go get him? Everyone, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Pom-poms coming up.
Tell me he's got him.
Or is he going to get the Southern Comfort now?
Uh-oh.
This is legit, by the way. This is right here. My brother fucking bought this off eBay. This is actually
shit.
This is Macho Man gear right here, folks.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh yeah.
You need to do an entire podcast like that. I'm sorry. That needs to happen.
Be sure to catch us next time where we'll have the Macho Man Randy Savage.
I can paint my face.
Yeah, on.
I can paint my face and do the tassels on the arms and be Warrior, and you can be like Snappity Slim Jim, and I can be like Dappentol.
The best part about it is somebody had a picture.
And you guys can get one of the single most mediocre matches in WrestleMania history.
Somebody had a picture of the Ultimate Warrior recently, and he was like flexing out his tassels and shit. and they said I'm dressed like a girl's bicycle, and I couldn't stop laughing.
Put that shit on.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah! Oh, yeah!
All right.
Let's go.
Yes! Oh my goodness. This is ridiculous.
I'm going to jam on my guitar.
Yeah. So
The word you're looking for is epic.
It honestly is pretty fucking cool when you have like legit stuff that the man fucking wore down to the ring in the house. Like that's pretty fucking awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, but see, you're missing the jacket. Are you going to get a jacket to go with it?
No, dude, if I got anything, I would avoid the jacket and get a fucking cape. His fucking capes and shit, those things were amazing.
Well, that means you need a scepter, too. You need a scepter.
Oh, I could be the Macho King then. I could
Yes!
get some real shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Robe. Excellent.
Wait, but that means that you have to hit Razor Fist with the scepter.
It's true. And then I hit him with the scepter. Did I see what I just think I said? Oh, yeah, I did.
I have to be careful because
That's the only time.
If I keep on wearing this, I might eventually start becoming a lead singer to Poison or some shit.
Oh dear, yes you would. You need some hair plugs.
Or the lead singer to Fozzy.
Wait. When did Chris Jericho wear this?
Never?
He wore a cowboy hat at one point.
He never did. What are you talking
I
about?
don't recall him doing that.
No.
The early Fozzy?
Did he?
I don't
really?
know. I don't know.
He did. Well, he may not have been part of his thing. I seen him, that
Well,
one time
Chris
they
Jericho
performed,
did.
when people actually pretended to care.
If he did, then he invented. Because Chris Jericho invented everything. So there we go.
That's true.
Yeah. He invented the internet just like Al Gore did. Anyway, I think we got time for one or two more questions before we get out of here. So let's see what's going on here. In fact, Alpha Omegason, you pick a question.
Oh, I pick a question. I need my mouse. And by the way, these glasses are kind of hard to see through. I'm just going to throw that out there because
you're basically trying to read through a broken windshield, dude.
That's actually what it's like. Oh man, I feel like I played
Kaleidoscope
3 times or some shit, or Road Avenger. Let's see.
Step into a car crash.
You're being referred to as Macho Megason.
Oh, I actually like that a lot. That works out. All right, let's see. I need a Slim Jim. Snap into it. Clap, clap, clap. I don't have the clap, not yet.
Are they giving you the clap, are they?
Somebody said, Razor Fist, is it wrong to find you attractive? Of course it's not. If you currently are watching this and you don't feel slightly aroused, then you're not watching Razor Fist in high def.
Yeah, including me. I'm aroused by me. It happens. I'm much more aroused by those sunglasses, though, Alpha. Those are.
Why do you think he's got the short sleeve shirt? He's trying to vent.
Yeah, I was gonna say right now, between me and Razor Fist, there's too much testosterone at the moment. We're about to explode at the moment. So.
Well, you gotta, after you fire the guns, you gotta cool them off.
Yeah, just. Let's see. I'm legitimately trying to find a question. That's the bad part about it. Just somebody said not all hentai is pedophilia or rape.
Not all of it. I never said it was
but-
all of it. It's just some H games. Let's be real.
Let's see. Somebody said fuck, I'm late. Man, I'm doing terrible at this.
Regardless how you feel, you have to admit there is a lot of it, though.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Hold on. Just so you know, right now I'm going through and it says all comments 725, and I'm trying to do this just as the Macho Man at the moment. So give a guy credit. I have a lot of burden to carry here. Let's see. Somebody was asking a question about survival horror, and they had asked it a couple times. Now I can't find the fucking question. That's actually what I was looking for. Yeah.
Hurry up and ask your question again.
Yeah, hurry up and ask that.
It might be in the spam.
Oh wait, here it is.
Here we go.
The Scotchaholic says, "Thank you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. We try. Survival horror question for all of you. what are your opinions on the current state of survival horror, the current regioning, or the current reigning king? Again, these glasses are fucked up, so screw you, I can read. And what would you guys, oh god, what would you guys would like to see? You really did write it that way. That's not me fucking out, by the way. Would like to see in future, in the future for survival horror, blah 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 blah. I think that you guys maybe got that. I butchered the question, kind of.
What would you like to see in the future for survival horror? Is that what he said?
Yes, and the current reigning king.
Actual survival horror, maybe?
Yep. That would be a start.
A game where survival is an issue?
Well, you know what? You know what I would? I'm gonna bowl people right over here with this. I think Last of Us actually set kind of an interesting precedent. I would love to see more survival horror that incorporates stealth, but does it better than Last of Us, please. But like more stealth games that incorporate survival horror, because the survival horror levels of Thief are amazing. They're terrifying. I mean, everyone should play the Shalebridge Cradle mission. If you like horror gaming, you have to play it at least once. It's horrifying. But like, I think stealth and survival horror is such a natural pairing. That's what I would love to see going forward, more of that. And I think with Last of Us being so successful, we might actually see that, which is awesome.
If we end up going with that route, the main thing that I'd like to have with it is I'd like to actually feel like I'm in constant danger and I can barely defend myself. And like I have to keep my reserves of whatever weaponry that I can get my hands on, or defensive items, mechanisms, what the fuck ever. Because that's really what's scary, is when you know that the threat can kill you like that, and it's always there. It's impending doom that's always looming. And then couple that with like a proper fucking setting.
I'm sorry, man. You're cutting this promo, and I'm thinking you're about to say, "And space is the police, and the sky's the limit." Dig it.
That's one of the things. Like I've got the screen open right here, and I'm looking at the comments, and then out the side I see all this silver sparkly shit, and like, that dude is not cracking one stupid fucking face. I'm that stupid fucking face that's not cracking a goofy fucking grin. And I'm impressed and saddened at the same time. Oh yeah, Bobby Heenan, you get on my nerves. I'm so much better than you on mic, don't you know it? But at the end of the day, reigning king of survival horror, I would say. Oh wait, and if I do say this, I have to say it with like psychotic rape eyes. Because anytime that he had those fucking glasses off, he'd look like he was coked out beyond understanding, and he was.
Yeah.
But reigning king, I don't even know, because like the genre is so stagnant right now. But it's.
I think the genre is honestly waiting for a new king at this point. It's in that transition period. I think that new Shinji Mikami or whatever game, what the fuck is that called? The new, or not Shinji Mikami, the new survival horror game that's coming out from the Capcom guy who did Resident Evil. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, now it's escaping my brain too somehow, and oh my God, what the fuck?
They did the big teaser. Anyways,
yeah, I know.
I think that game, people know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, we're old. We're allowed to forget things.
Yeah, it happens. We do a lot of drugs, folks. It's all right.
I'm sitting on a lot of drugs right now. So.
And he looks like it. Right?
And yeah, don't worry, I'll go driving after this.
I think that could possibly be the next one, but I mean, Resident Evil definitely is not anywhere near, and Silent Hill has fallen well by the wayside at this point. So it's hard to say there's even a king. I think they're just kind of waiting for the next one.
I mean, it right now you have The Last of Us, which Razorfist brought up as being like a really good turning point for the genre, because it was bringing something semi-new to the table. I won't say completely new, because we've had sort of stealth before, but not to that degree, and it's more on a mainstream level, which is extremely nice. And I just want to see Resident Evil rebooted. I want a remake of 2, which somebody brought that up in the comments, because it'd be great. Silent Hill, I just want to go back to Team Silent, and I know it won't happen. That's the only way that I'm honestly going to be happy with it, and this isn't like an isolated opinion. Like, you'd be fucking psychotic to even think that anybody else is going to get it done right, because I think they've had, what, 2 or 3 different teams now since Team Silent tackled the series, and nobody's lived up to what they've done. They set a bar, nobody's touched it. Or even...
there's been good games. Let's make no mistake. There's been good Silent Hill games since. In fact, I think all of them are good in their own way, but they're not on par with 1 through 4.
I don't know, man. Homecoming is... I can't say anything good about Homecoming.
I enjoyed Homecoming, actually. I liked how they overhauled the combat and the dodging and everything, and you could actually... But the problem was...
You could carry 40 televisions with you.
No, you're thinking of Origins. You're thinking of Origins. That was the game where you could carry, like, you had microwaves.
That was Homecoming. Like, you had, like, the ludicrous fucking, like, arsenal of weapons, and it was like, there goes a lamp. It's in my pocket.
No, that was Origins. You're walking around with a freaking microwave. Like, what? Where are you holding this?
It's not even like a singular one. It's like you would actually hover over a certain electronic that you'd get from a department store, and it's like you have 37 of them. Like, what the fuck? You don't have a pack mule with you. Like, there's nothing there. And every time you swung them, they'd shatter instantaneously like they were the cheapest fucking things ever.
Yeah.
Like, the fact is, I could take my TV and beat the fuck out of several homeless people right now, and it'll still be able to go and kill somebody.
Yeah, but then, and that was the first game in the series, and I think still the only one, where you could fight with your hands and feet. You'd fight with your fists. And it was like your fists hurt him more and never broke. And it's like, okay, so I swing a giant steel television at someone's head, it breaks in one hit. I punch somebody with my fists, I'm perfectly fine. Like, what are you, cyborg? What is going on?
And one thing I just want to say is, Nintendo, for fuck's sake, please do something with Fatal Frame. You're like holding it hostage with a gun to its head, and you have the Wii U. I mean, this fucking tablet, and I'll say it with my Macho Man hat, this tablet was made for Fatal Frame. Don't you understand? Fans want it, they can dig it. Like, that's all that they fucking want. Like, this right here is begging for it, man. Like, what the fuck? You just give us the HD remakes, for fuck's sake. Introduce it to people, put it at a budget price, put it out there, and then bring in the new one and make it fucked up beyond belief. That'd be great. Make a 3DS version for shits and giggles, whatever. And Capcom, quit holding Clock Tower hostage and quit renaming it Haunting Ground for fun because you fucked up 3. Just saying. That'd be appreciated. And by the way, I love Haunting Ground.
Yeah, it is a good game, actually.
It's great. And that's an example of you're defenseless and scared all the time because everything can murder you. You don't have 90 fucking rocket launchers and shit, and you don't have Crest Redfield who's like, boulders, punching them. Shit killed me. But anyway, I want the genre to come back in a big way because I fucking love it. So, yeah. Oh, wait, the Evil Within? Was that it?
The Evil
Within, yeah.
That would be the one.
Okay. There. Sorry for the brain fart, but yes, the Evil Within, and every time that they do an update of it, because I have it liked on Facebook, it always looks really fucking awesome. So I'm hoping that again is something that's gonna end up blowing up real big, or at least like will get its cult following and continue to grow.
Last really awesome survival horror game I've played is Deadly Premonition. It's been a while since the last decent one. Like,
did you hear that they, the dude who made it, Sweary?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. But he's talking about that the game that he's working on for Xbox One, which is another game that I have a great deal of interest for that system. He said that he's simultaneously working on Deadly Premonition 2.
Yes.
And he didn't divulge any details of it. Just he had mentioned it in passing that I'm working on a sequel to Deadly Premonition. That is fucking fine because me and Razorfist love the shit out of Deadly Premonition, and anybody who's played it, everybody I know that's played it has loved it, and everybody that hasn't played it, quit fucking not playing it and go buy it. It's brand new on PS4. I mean, they have the director's cut. It's there. Fucking play it. Quit being an idiot.
Yeah, it's a pretty. The director's cut isn't. The director's cut's got some issues, but
it's got some hiccups. Is it on Steam yet? I can't remember.
Yes, I think it was put up on Steam. Yeah, I believe so.
I know I saw people talking about that, and there was like people saying there's some fucking issues with that, but people were going and fixing it themselves because they were such big fans. I just heard a Mario sound, and but in general, find it on Steam, find it on PS3 if you can. And the only reason I say that is because they don't sell it brand new for 360 anymore, and that's a game that deserves its fucking sales, if anything. Seriously, it deserves it. And Google is asking me, am I still there? And put a sleeping icon. What the fuck do you think? Yes, I'm still here. Fucking idiot. Like, you can't fucking tell with all this shit. Like, I actually fancy the hat. That's what
he's wearing a fucking Las Vegas sign, for Christ's sake. How do you miss this guy?
Oh, you know what's really
he's
cool?
Wearing visual confirmation.
It's actually got the fucking tassels going down the back.
Nice!
It's quite pleasing. Are we gonna take any more questions, or are we done?
Let's take one more and then get the fuck out of here.
You want one more? Okay, we're gonna do one more. We're gonna do one more here. Hold on now. Nothing good on that side. Don't care to talk about Rage Against the Machine.
Or even acknowledge their existence.
Do you think Capcom will... No kidding, right? X Zamora says, Chris Redfield versus the Hulk. When? Okay, last one. Huh?
I was gonna say I kind of thought that they were one and the same, Bruce Banner, and when he gets real angry, he turns into Chris Redfield and then fights Wesker.
Hey, but he gets a gun. Yeah. Okay, Quiz 401 says, what games are you looking forward to the most in 2014? Anything at all?
Dead Rising 3 a little bit. That's about it for me.
Wait, repeat the question because I didn't actually hear it.
Just is there anything that you're looking forward to in 2014?
Oh, fuck. Damn it, I actually had a list made up. Fuck, I'm really bad with this kind of stuff. I legitimately did, because I was thinking about making a video about things that I'm looking forward to in 2014. I'll just go with an easy one, because I've been looking forward to it for a while. Bayonetta 2 is pretty high on my list. I'm hoping that it's every bit as good as the first one, if not better. I'm fine with it just being as good, because I really like the first one. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep saying Bayonetta 2. Fuck it, Bayonetta 2. Bayonetta 2.
Yeah. And for me, just a letdown, right? If I were to go with anything, I don't even know if it's coming out next year. They've suggested it might be out next year, but hopefully it is. Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem on the Wii U.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that one will see a 2014 release, but here's, fingers crossed.
I know I would have said Persona 5, but the end of 2014 is when it's actually coming out in Japan, and we won't probably end up getting an English.
But we'll get it in 2017.
Yeah, pretty much.
We'll be getting it around the same time we get the power laces and the hoverboards.
We'll never have those, not in our lifetime.
No, you saw it, man. 2015.
Not gonna happen. I'm a pessimist.
Well, fine. You're gonna be a party pooper.
Razor Fist, what do you want next year?
Oh, I already said. The only thing I really want is Dead Rising 3. I'm interested to play it, but I can't say I'm chomping at the bit to play it or anything. I really would like if Thief 4 didn't suck. I would be looking forward to that, but that ain't happening. So I'm not really sure. Shroud of the Avatar from the new Richard Garriott game looks really interesting. I hope it comes out next year, because that could be the first real Ultima-style RPG in fucking years. And I can't... the stuff I've seen from it looks so awesome. You can pick up any object in the world, move it around, rearrange it. You got the full open-world RPG thing. There's no set narrative. You get to choose the narrative completely yourself, completely non-linear. This game looks so awesome. Blown away. But yeah, that would be probably the one, and maybe the new Star Citizen if that comes out next year. I'm not sure if it's actually gonna come out next year, but Star Citizen looks really fucking cool. So, and there's a Mech Warrior real-time strategy game that's coming out that looks kind of cool. But yeah, they're all kind of like Kickstarter games and indie games and stuff. It's weird how like I went from buying all these AAA games a couple years ago to just being only interested in indie now. It's bizarre. Like I'm not like a hipster about games. I can enjoy. I mean, I enjoyed Halo Reach and shit like that. So I mean, but it's just so many AAA games are shit, or it's just the same shit. Like, you know. Playing Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare one time is great, but Jesus Christ, rehashing it over and over and over again, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I got told by a lot of people that I was full of shit when I said that it was just the same game since Call of Duty 4 done over and over again. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me, right? You really think that's a different game each time. You are the ideal customer that they want. Absolutely. Like, you don't have to argue with me. Just keep on coughing up cash for them. That's all that they want.
Keep playing. In wrestling, they have.
Go ahead.
In wrestling parlance, they have a name for people like you. You're called a mark, and they hit it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
just keep paying
that's gonna have to do it
for your full-length game, and by full length I mean fucking 3.5 to 4 hours, which is full price for this game.
Well, it's longer than a movie.
Oh my God. Well, no, not really. It's not longer than the version of Return of the King. Yeah, Peter Jackson movie.
Or Gettysburg.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I think we're gonna have to get out of here because we've talked for long enough. We thank you guys for joining us. I'm Yo Chaos. Joining me was Alpha Omega Sin.
Now dubbed the Macho Omega Sin. Ooh yeah, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers, snap into a Slim Jim.
And the ravishing Razor Fist.
The HBP podcast is back, motherfuckers. God fucking speed.
Thank you very much. We thank you for joining us. You guys have been fantastic, and we have been the HBP podcast. See ya.